up, guys? It's your boy Josh Showtime. You already know what it is. It's Showtime's Fight Forum. And today I have to do a big, giant rant because I have to talk more about the results than I do the actual fight because it's annoying. It's super annoying. And we're going to talk about the undisputed lightweight championship fight of this year, which was Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Now we have the young and undisputed champion in Devin Haney, 24 years old, fighting the legend, the Ukrainian dynamo, freaking, I can say, welcome to the Matrix. This guy fights like Neo. The Lomachenko, who is honestly an all-time great caliber talent and fighter. Doesn't have that many fights. His fights won't stack up with honestly any all-time great because he hasn't had that many. But he has a really strong amateur background. And I think he has well over 300 fights in amateur, turned pro late, and obviously he's been in world championship fights pretty much since the fight one. So, I mean, it was a very tough matchup for both guys. Lomachenko is not a natural 135 pounder. Actually, he probably is a natural 135 pounder, as in he weighs that much. He's not a big guy whatsoever at that weight. His weight class is more so lower than featherweight than it is lightweight. But yet still, he's so talented and so good. He's able to, get tougher competition, but still be able to be competitive at 130 and 135. So yeah, still, I didn't do a drop last week. Honestly, I was just busy doing other topics and things like that. It wasn't that this wasn't important. I just had other stuff I was talking about. But if I was to guess, and also you can fact check me if you follow me on social media at Papa Showtime, I literally did put my predictions down where I said I had Haney winning. I thought Haney was gonna win. He's the bigger guy. He doesn't have too many more fights at 135. He's still young and still growing as a fighter, and obviously body type as well. And Lomachenko does struggle at 135 versus bigger guys. Now you're talking about a big, young, elite guy who's just bigger and fast. Well, I don't know about faster, but that's just bigger than him. Yeah, I thought there was going to be a little bit of an issue. I knew it was going to be close though, because at the end of the day, my biggest issue with Devin Haney has always been the same, which is he don't have power. He just don't. He don't. All right, it's different between being a Tank Davis, which is literally astronomical, all-time great level power, and then you have a guy who is a moderate puncher who can still hurt you, let's say no, Manny Pacquiao got power too. Let's say a Floyd. Floyd, people like to call Floyd pillheads, but let's keep it a stat. Anybody who fought Floyd, nobody says he has a pillow fist. He actually can hurt you. And if you give him the chance, he will knock you out. And at 135, actually, he was a killer. He was TKOing people and hurting people, putting people down. We've seen what he did to Diego Corrales, and I think that was at 140, if I remember correctly. But yet, still, that's my point. He don't even have that level of sting, power, punch, even of a Mayweather. And even when he was going up in weight, it didn't really translate into TKOs because he maxed out at 147. But yeah. When it comes to Devin, that was always his biggest weakness. So I knew that was going to cause some issue because the reason why Lomachenko lost to Lopez was simple and plain. He knew Lopez packed power. He can knock people out at 135. Lomo knew that. He was athletic. He had the punching power, so he took his time with that. I knew he was going to come on strong because he didn't have that threat with Devin Haney. Devin Haney ain't scaring nobody with his power. And that's what's going to, in my opinion, deter him and stop him from being a pound-for-pound king. I think that he's gonna eventually find that guy who don't care about his punches and that's gonna challenge him consistently to land bigger punches. And that is possible with the Tank Davis. It's gonna be a tough match for him because unfortunately he doesn't have that. He just doesn't. He's technically a great fighter, but when it comes to this power, he just lacks it severely. But yet still, when it comes to the fight itself, it was highly competitive. I think that there was 3 rounds for Lomachenko where I'm it was obvious, it was him, easy money. There was 3 rounds actually also I gave to Devin where I don't think it was too debatable, even though I did see scorecards where some people disagree with me, and that's fine. But when it comes to these fights and it's so competitive, you have to understand that this is gonna happen. This is every fight, especially when you have these high chest matches, you aren't gonna have a clear-cut winner sometimes. In my opinion, this was a fight where there was no real clear-cut winner. I'm sick of people saying, I'm tired of people over here making it seem like this was some big robbery. Was this a robbery? No! It wasn't even close to a robbery. It ain't even, bro, we're wasting our time with this robbery words. What happened to Romero, with Rolly? 2 weeks ago, that was a robbery. That was bull. That is what like legit is called a robbery. They took that fight from that dude and gave it to Rolly. That's a travesty. That is a robbery. If you want to say you'll never watch boxing again because of that, I understand it. This ain't the fight for that. I'm so sick of y'all. Oh my God, it's such a robbery. I can't believe they gave it to the young fighter. Yeah, okay. It was close, but it's a robbery. That don't make sense. I understand some people can say, oh, well, it could be close, but then there's a clear-cut winner. This wasn't that fight. It wasn't. And for the people who sit there so determined on saying this was a robbery, give me 7 guaranteed rounds for Lomachenko. I want 7 rounds where there was no doubt, no discussion, no debate that he won that fight. You can't name 7. You can name 3 max. You can't do the same for Devin Haney. This isn't me taking up for Devin. Devin didn't have 7 clear cut. It was obviously him. I said this on while I was watching the fight. I was like, I don't know who won. Whoever they give it to, I understand. I really do. If you put it as a draw, I still understand. Because I've said this before, I don't understand why boxing has 12 rounds. It should be 13. 13 or 11. Like, why do we have an even number amount of fights so we can get those draws? Makes 0 sense, but that's another discussion for another day. I'm just baffled by this. I'm tired of it. I like casuals because casuals make the fight bigger, but I also hate casuals because y'all make no sense. You show that y'all don't know nothing about boxing, and it's so frustrating. Y'all can listen to Cokehead, Oscar De La Hoya, and y'all can listen to all like the experts that are at the actual fight. I'm telling you right now, anybody who didn't have a dog in the fight, who actually watched it with no audio, and you rewatched the fight, you can sit here and at least understand why they gave Devin Haney the fight. Because I'm not even saying Devin Haney won the fight. Here's the thing, and this is the problem with casuals. Y'all think that 2 rounds dictates an entire fight. That is not how that works. This is a round by round by round fight, okay? This isn't not Bellator, this isn't Pride, this isn't ONE FC. This isn't one of those joints where you do the totality of the fight. There's a difference between somebody winning the totality of the fight from a person that won the fight on scorecards. 2 totally different metrics. And I'm okay if they did it the other way. But here's the thing, and this is the difference for the people who might not understand what I mean by this. Let's say Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder won. Let's say we did the totality of that fight. You can easily argue Deontay Wilder won the totality of the fight. Why? Because he dropped Tyson Fury 3 freaking times. And realistically, Deontay Wilder may have got rocked once or twice maybe, but the impact of the fight and the person who did the most damage was easily Deontay Wilder. But who won the fight on scorecards? It should have been Tyson Fury. He won what, 8 rounds? 8 to 10 rounds? And the only rounds that, in my opinion, that Deontay won was the round where he dropped him. But like I said, that's totality versus round by round. In this specific fight, if you want to go with the totality of the fight, you could easily argue Lomachenko won that fight. And if you did the totality, you might be able to make a case where, that's kind of a robbery. Maybe. Because Lomachenko had by far the most decisive rounds. By far, the most decisive rounds. But if we're going round for round, there was way too many close rounds for me to sit here and say Lomachenko easily won that fight. And then what's crazy for me is people want to complain about the 116, 112 scorecard, which I don't think is a great scorecard. But then you're the same person that think Lomachenko won 8-4. If Lomachenko has a right to say that he won 8-4, you can make that same route for Devin Haney. I'm sorry, but you have to. Because these same swing rounds, for the people who saying, I had a 115, 113 Haney, that makes sense. Well, bro, you're one round away from 116, 112. Which means you just had to pick another round that was a swing round and say, I gave that to Haney. Now, sure, if that was a scorecard, that's very biased towards Devin Haney, but I feel like the same thing if it was 116, 112 Lomachenko. That's very biased for him. This fight was simple and plain way too close. I think it was a draw or 1-1 by 1 round. I think that's the most fair of any scorecard. Simple and plain. But I'm sick of you casuals. Like I love Stephen A. Smith, but your take was terrible. Kendrick Perkins, your take was terrible. Look, Lil Boosie said Devin Haney lost every round. Come on, bro. Every round? Really? Devin Haney lost every round? Did you even watch the fight? Like, I'm starting to think these celebrities literally just seen the tweets and said, oh, everybody on that, let me go ahead and let me just follow up too. Like, celebrities are some of the most bandwagon following dudes I've ever seen in my life. Think for yourself. Stop listening to just what the commentaries say. They're there to guide you, but they're not there to think for you. Watch the fights. Everybody, like, I remember like after round 7, the commentators were saying, this is gonna be tough to judge. This scorecard's gonna be crazy. Then they get the scorecards and now everybody's mad. What sense do y'all make? It's stupid. It's dumb. All right. Like I said, and this is coming from a person who literally is okay with saying Lomachenko win. I don't have an issue with that. But I just think y'all are just ridiculous by acting like Lomachenko is robbed. And y'all can like try to, I guess not sue, but y'all can try to do whatever y'all want to appeal it. That's stupid. You're not gonna win. Like, there's no way you're gonna prove anything. That fight was way too close to say, oh, I easily won this fight. It's what? You didn't drop him. How did you win? Because you buzzed him for 2 rounds? Ooh, that's gonna do it. Like, we gotta grow up. Like, everybody, grow up. Congrats to Devin Haney. Great win. I think he's gonna stay at 135. The fight to make is pretty simple in my opinion. Shakur Stevenson needs to be the next fight. It's gonna be a fight with 2 guys who are not punchers, but these guys are amazing boxers. It's gonna be similar to this, except for I think Shakur's better than both. So, and also Shakur's been stepping up his offense a lot more, but I kind of think he does that towards guys he knows just not on his level. And to be honest with you, you could think Devin's not on his level. Also, he ain't got the threat of power. So we will see it opened up Shakur. He's not gonna fight like that towards Tank. And I think Tank should get the winner of those 2. That's been my idea for a while, and I think that's what needs to happen. But yeah, man, like, I wanna hear what you guys think, man. What do you guys score? Did you rewatch the fight? Because I watched it twice. I want to know what you guys think. And I don't know if I told my scorecards. My scorecards, first time I watched it, I had it as a draw. I thought it was 6-6. The second time watching it, to be honest with you, like, there was so many rounds. There was like 3 rounds where I was just like, I don't know. And that was honestly the beginning of the fight. It was rounds 2, rounds 4. I want to say it was like 1, 2, and 4. And I might be off because I didn't really write down the rounds where, like, I did write it, but I don't have it with me. Of which rounds I was like, bro, I just genuinely don't know. You can give it either or. But I had it, like I said, draw. It was 7-5 Haney or 7-5 Lomachenko. I think the final score for the second one was Haney 7-5. But like I said, it was by this much. Yet and still, great fight though. I thought it was very action oriented actually. It wasn't as much holding and hugging as I was expecting. And yeah, man, these guys was ready. And I feel sorry for Lomachenko, man. You were 35 years old. You're not getting too many fights nowadays. And not to mention, that was probably gonna be your last, maybe, big fight unless they do a rematch. But yeah, man, like I thought you showed a lot. Oh, last thing, I'm sorry. Last thing before I go. Before you take hop-ons, and this is coming from a guy who's from the same, I'm from the same area, but I'm from the same state as Tank. I love Tank. Tank is a superstar. But I'm tired of you dick riding Tank fans. Oh man, and these guys are supposed to be up to Tank's level? Yes, they are. They are. Tank, I'm sorry. Y'all gotta stop riding his dick so hard. It's annoying. Y'all, he is not Sugar Ray Robinson. This guy is the same guy who had a very close fight with Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz will get worked by Devin Haney. Isaac Cruz will get worked by Lomachenko. These guys are on his level. These are elite fighters. So please stop disrespecting. Tank has not fought nobody close to Lomachenko. And that's just a fact. That's undisputed fact. Devin Haney, he fought a lesser version of Lomachenko, but yet and still, he's not fought nobody that is as good as Devin Haney. And it's not to say Tank can't beat them, because he very well can. He can beat anybody. But y'all stop hyping. Stop acting like none of these guys are on his level. Yes, they are. We just need to see it happen. And Shakur possibly is better than everybody. But it is what it is. Y'all will see once they all fight. At least hopefully they do fight. As always, man, follow me on social media at Papa Showtime and Josh Showtime. Thank you guys for watching. And I appreciate y'all, man. Stay blessed.